maybe.
Do you guys think it's sustainable what we just saw against the Saints? And I'm saying that like in terms of Travis Kelce and Juju. Obviously, I think it's sustainable with what we're seeing out of the backfield because of what you just said with the offensive line. But are
Gotta
we
stay healthy.
expecting Travis Kelce and Juju Smith-Schuster to be the number ones at their respective position and continue to output that kind of performance week in and week out as we go forward? Because potentially, if that happens, I mean, who knows? Maybe we don't bring in Amari Cooper, Devontae Adams, whoever.
I don't know if it'll necessarily continue for Juju. It can for Travis. Another tight end that could also take place for Travis is Noah Gray, and almost any other receiver can have that during the week. But it all depends on if we get good play action and we
I
have a lot of
understand that.
motion before it.
Yeah, you have to be able to run the football to be able to do what you want with Juju and Travis and the other four fucking tight ends. But I do think though, Xavier Worthy is a pretty big
The deep
key
ball
to
is
the
Oh,
alive.
offense.
The deep
Yeah,
ball is
he
alive.
wound up so good, ready to throw that man. He
I
chucked
know.
all he could into that.
Yeah, he looked like he was trying to get tagged, so catch someone tagging up on a fly ball from fucking right
I,
field.
he's there, man, and I guess that's kind of where we'll lead into some of the things that went wrong here because you're 100% right. Xavier Worthy has shown at least in this game and a few other instances in other games that he can just get wide open. For some reason, these DBs, the safeties and the corners are kind of just losing him in open space. I
Yeah,
don't think he necessarily needs to be that deep ball threat all the time because he's finding these open spaces just kind of
dude,
sitting in pockets
him
very
him
much.
on fly, him on fly is insane. Like how he scored,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And
insane.
it's very much like Travis Kelce, the way that I'm seeing it through a couple weeks is he just kind of this is what my route is, but I see this is open over here. So let me go sit behind this DB and in front of the safety. Pat can definitely get that ball in. The problems that I'm seeing though, stemming from the left side of that offensive line, whether it's
Yeah,
Wanye Morris or it's Kingsley Suamatia, who came in when Wanye went down, is even for as well as Wanye has been performing, whoever that is on the left side is just letting Patrick Mahomes get eaten alive.
Yeah, it seems like every time Patrick's getting ready to step up and think about chucking it deep, he has to move immediately because of that.
I
Every
think
single time.
I think being a left tackle in the NFL is probably the hardest job in the
Oh yeah.
NFL.
Oh yeah.
The it's not as noticeable in the NFL because everyone's a great athlete who's in the NFL, but the guy across from you is usually a much better athlete than you that you're going against. And for the most part, it's not necessarily your choice if you want to go one on one all night. Very rarely does your left tackle are you going to be able to give your left tackle help on the inside. So you are essentially on an island against that end and pass pro all fucking night. Much like a corner, but a corner sometimes can get help over the top. You can give him a break, and you can with a tackle as well, a left tackle. But I mean, it's one of the hardest jobs, probably the hardest job in my opinion in the NFL. And like you 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 got to figure it out. And honestly, I'll be dead ass honest. Jawan Taylor was not very impressive on the right side yesterday either. He's a fucking walking penalty marker.
Penalties are always going to be a thing with Juwan. And that's we're just going to have to live with that.
Yeah,
But
but when does that start becoming to the major detriment of your team?
we'll see if it ever does. I mean, it did somewhat last year, and then we still won the Super Bowl. So like we can clearly overcome those penalties. Who knows if it's actually going to be detrimental when it comes to winning overall? But realistically, yes, the penalties have been a problem with Juwan. Though when you look at how he's playing this year, he's one of the top four right tackles in the league by all statistical measurements.
I mean, he's
He's a
kind of
top
always been.
exact, and that's why he was brought in for the money that he was brought in. So
Yeah.
you say that, yeah, he hasn't performed that well. No, he's exceeded kind of expectations for what he was brought in for, even though we knew he was already really good.
Hmm.
It's just the penalties. And if you can live with those penalties because he's able to block so well, then that's not a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I just that's a fine line to walk. I think I really
Yeah.
do.
No, it is for
We like
any
walking that
team
line.
that for any team that is not the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. Absolutely.
We did have the interception. It wasn't Patrick Mahomes' fault, and that was another thing that did go wrong. Was it was just a play. I mean, a receiver who yes, Tommy, we disagreed on this. It was very good defense.
It was great defense.
Juju, it was very good defense. Juju was wide open at time of the pass, got the hands in, knocked it out, and it was a fantastic
Yeah.
catch from Sir Binks there in the end zone.
Oh,
And then the
dude.
run from the big man. He's athletic. He knows how to run the ball. He's very fast.
Put
Uh,
that ball up high. He was ready to
Oh,
Ball
go.
up high.
dude.
He's
There's
played running back
nothing
before.
better.
You
Oh,
just
there's
know when you
nothing
see
better.
Sir Binks out there on the field that he's going to give it his all. I love Colin Sanders. I hope one day he can come back, but yeah, that's another problem is still the turnover issue. And now it's not coming from, at least in this game, from Patrick Mahomes, but it is coming from, you've got Juju, who can't just get his hands on the ball, even though it's very good defense. He's got to be able to fight through that. And then you have Carson Steele on multiple plays putting the ball on the ground. And so we're
Yeah.
still having, not that we didn't recover it, we definitely did, but turnovers seem to be popping up and becoming an issue here for this Kansas City Chiefs offense, which is usually not a thing.
Yeah, we're losing the turnover battle again this year. We're -4 right now. So if we can clean it up a little bit on offense and just get a little bit on defense, I think we're set. If we can just stay right at even, doesn't matter what we do out there.
I like, again, this is another fine line to toe. You're the Chiefs. You can overcome the adversity of turning the ball over, but God forbid there comes a day where you can't and a team takes advantage of every fucking turnover. Because I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's it, right? I mean, we've talked about it before. Good teams take advantage of mistakes, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a turnover, you know, it doesn't matter what it is. Good teams take advantage of mistakes. You guys do that. And I really hope for your guys' sake that the turnover bug doesn't bite, and then another team bites back even harder after, uh, uh, getting causing a turnover, forcing a turnover.
Well, it bit us real hard last year before we got into the playoffs, and we still won a championship. So
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not
whatever.
good.
Yeah, we still won a championship. Whatever, dude. Whatever. It's fucking football. Any given Sunday.
Until Super Bowl Sunday.
Any given Sunday. Tom Brady. 2020. There's
Quickly
half
here,
the people there.
who were some of our players of the game from NFL Week 5?
Shout out to our boy Turk, Tershawn Warden.
Like monster game.
He is having a fantastic season this year. I love seeing it. Great guy coming up out of Missouri S&T. What is that, D2 school? You usually don't see that. So, hey, great for him to be out there actually showing it. I think it was what, third, fourth year?
Yeah, I think so. Yes, should be fourth or fifth, I believe.
He is my player of the game and unsung hero of the season so far for the defense.
Been good. I'll go. I'm going to stay on the defensive side. A guy that we were really excited for last year, hindered by that injury in Germany. Now he's showing up week in and week out, and he's finally paying dividends with a first drive interception. Fantastic catch. He's coming down on every single tackle that he can possibly make. Dude's a dog. I hope. Obviously, still on a contract, but I do hope that we can re-sign this guy in the future. Keep him around to being a Chief for a long time. It is Brian Cook out of Cincinnati. This guy is an absolute dog out there. All of his teammates love him. He's turning into being more than just a glue guy, a guy that we thought he could turn into. He's going into upper echelon elite status. And the next step for him is going to be star and then superstar. And I think he can hit all those levels for a safety.
Mine is Rashid Shaheed. Scored a touchdown, helped me win in one of my fantasy leagues. It was a fucking nail biter, hell of a close game. I was actually, because he had Xavier Worthy. The guy I was playing at Xavier Worthy, and I went into the game down by like a half point. So I needed Xavier Worthy to not go the fuck off, and I needed Rashid Shaheed to score enough points. And that touchdown that Worthy scored scared the shit out of me, man. And let me tell you. But thanks to Rashid Shaheed for helping me win in one of my fantasy leagues. So he's my player of the game.
Rashid Shaheed showing that he's more than just a deep threat. He can go out there and run every route on the tree and really
Oh yeah,
just be a high volume target kind of guy, really do whatever it is that you need. And that's a guy that probably, if he's smart enough, won't stick around for the Saints
get out while
because
the getting's good.
he
Rashid
can definitely get out.
Shaheed.
What a name.
That's so
What a
fun to
name.
say. I just had to say it.
Well, the Chiefs are on a bye this week, and then we return against the 49ers coming off of a decent break. We'll see what happens for the Chiefs during the bye week. See if we can bring in maybe a piece. I don't know. We'll see what happens with Devontae, Amari Cooper moving forward. If something happens, expect us to come out with maybe a short little emergency pod talking about all that
Oh,
could happen. I'd be excited for it. Probably not a Raiders fan excited for it if it's Devontae Adams to the Chiefs, but we'll have to let him eat it anyways.
You gotta let me rant if that's the case.
Oh, I'd love to. Make sure to stick around if that happens. Raiders fans ranting, nothing better. Until next time, go Chiefs.
go Chiefs.
Ah, please.